What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we'll be looking at a video from a particular channel. It's called Car Coach Reports. Now, let's go ahead and get started right quick because apparently with Trump talking about tariffs and stuff, I want you guys to listen to this.
President Trump has placed a tariff on China, Mexico, and Canada. And people want to know, how is this going to affect cars? And that's where we specialize. They're talking about parts, service, the cost of vehicles.
Yep.
And there's a lot of questions in people's minds. So we did the research for you so you can get it all in one concise package.
Yep, this is absolutely breaking news. So we thought we'd put together this little questionnaire for you so you know what's happening and how this is going to affect you and the cars that you will potentially be buying in the future. So if you like this kind of content and you want to see more like it, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this.
Yeah, we're keeping up on the automotive news because it is breaking quite quickly.
Absolutely.
And I get a lot of questions. The moment this hit, my phone was on fire from all the news stations. So I've been reporting about this, but I thought, let's get it right to you right from the source with a little bit longer than a 3-minute package.
Right. So let's start with this one. How will tariffs impact the cost of automobile production, and how will this impact consumers?
Okay, so I think the mainstream media has been telling people they're going to take the window stickers off and put new window stickers on. They're not going to do that. That's the first thing you need to know. They're not going to take off the window sticker on your Camry and put a new window sticker on. However, there are some unscrupulous dealers who will put a little line item in saying that, well, we got to replace this car. It's going to be more expensive. That's total hogwash. And if you see that, walk away from that dealer. There's other dealers out there. Most dealers are going to say the price is on the window sticker. They're still looking to sell cars. There's tons of incentives. There's tons of 0% finance. So don't let this scare you from buying a car. However, what you will see is prices on some things going up and some you may not see at all.
Yeah, it depends on where the vehicle's built, and that's kind of the biggest thing that's going on here.
Right.
There's actually quite a lot of vehicles that are built in America. And there has been a ongoing battle, an economic battle, for what vehicles are built in Mexico, mostly Mexico, a couple in Canada, but it's mostly Mexico, being a lot of trucks. Almost every Ford is not made here.
Well, the Mustang's made here still.
Mustang's made here.
But the Maverick is not. And then if you're looking at Stellantis, they were going to build product in Mexico, and then they got rid of their CEO. They brought back, thank goodness, their premium performance guy, Tim Kuniskis, who I like. He's a good guy. And he's like, nope, we're reopening the Belvedere plant, 1,500 more UAW employees, and they're going to build a mid-sized pickup truck that's needed. And just before we went live, there was another notification that they're getting rid of some of their senior level executives who are thinking very European and not about bringing cars here. So we're going to see a lot of changes over at Stellantis. But brands like BMW, they build their factories here for the last 30 years. Volvo builds here, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Kia,
Nissan. Volvo was even talking.
You know, that's bad that you have foreign companies building their cars here, especially like Mercedes and BMW and Volvo. Now, I didn't expect Volvo to build cars here, nor Mercedes. BMW, I know. But there's been also talk on TK's Garage channel. He posted a video a couple days ago talking about how Audi, Porsche, and Lamborghini might be opening up a factory or opening up a plant here where those cars are being built, so they can be built. So I don't know, but let's continue.
Well, Volvo is in South Carolina. They have for 20 years.
Yep.
So you're looking at, and obviously Honda and Toyota. And so when you're looking at a lot of brands that are building here, it's smart.
And it's mostly the cars that are sold here that are being built here. So
Except for BMW.
Except for BMW.
You're right.
So let's get on to the next one. Can we expect more cars to be made in the U.S. because of this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We've already heard Audi and Porsche are going to bring cars. You know, Porsche's not going to bring the 911 here. Because you're going to buy a 911, you're going to pay the price. You don't care.
And they're probably not going to do that because there's this idea. It's a German car. It's built in Germany. It's kind of like buying a Ferrari that's not built in Italy.
Right. And that's not, Ferrari's not building cars in the U.S. So forget about that one. But when you think about it, what will they sell here if they did? Well, that would be like Audi's building cars for like the Q5 and Q7. They're building them in Mexico. And so they'll probably build those more mainstream cars like the Macan and the Cayenne. And that's fine because they sell a lot of them.
Yep.
So you're going to see other brands looking at this. You won't see Jaguar or Land Rover building here. I just don't see that happening. And people that buy those cars.
Jaguar and Land Rover are going to be damn. Well, Jaguar is going to be a shoe can. Nobody's going to buy that EV. And Land Rover, a lot of people are selling those too.
Cars are going to pay the premium. But I think you're going to see more components built here, which will definitely help give us jobs, which will help the economy as a whole. Because what President Trump's trying to do is move everything to tariff-based like we did before 1913, which means no taxes, no federal taxes. I like that. If you could make that happen, I'm a happy girl. That would be nice.
It'll make the cars cheaper, that's for sure.
Well, sure, you'd be able to afford more vehicles.
Yeah.
They say you'd get about an average of $30,000 more in your pocket. I think you'd like $30,000 more in your pocket. I would. You too.
Well, that being said, when can I expect that?
Yeah. Well, this is going to take time.
Yeah. So that really is the kind of the next thing is, big things like that will take time. What about the immediate impact of the tariffs? How quickly are we going to see prices go up if they stay in place? If this turns into an economic battle and not just a threat? Obviously, there's already been comments from Mexico and Canada saying, we're not going to bow to these tariffs.
Well, talk is cheap. So the thing is, we import more from them. That's where they make their money, and that's how Canadians put money into their government, and it's a lot. And if you look at the tariff numbers, it's definitely out of balance. So,
for those of you who are wondering, Canada, like she said, Canada makes money from us importing our vehicles. But here's the also the thing, because there's been talk about, Canada's going to turn off the power. If they do that, it'll only be to a certain small number of states, like northern states, like New York, and those other states that are closer, that are upper near Canada's border, like Illinois, all those states right there. They won't touch. But everything that's like really connected, like, hold on, let me see something. Excuse me, damn. Excuse me, I apologize. Let's see. Let's go to maps. So everything like right around here, Vermont, New York, New Hampshire, all this, if they turned off the power, it'd be the states like this. But as far as like anything else, they could not turn the power off to the United States as a whole. So the prime minister or whoever the hell is saying that they're gonna turn off the power, they can't do that. Because like she just said, they make most of their money from us.
We have not.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Hold on. That's what a lot of people don't realize. The United States, they try to import everything to the United States to sell. Now, there's going to be some things that they don't import, but most things they import. We pay a lot of that, and which makes their countries rich, especially Canada. If they didn't produce vehicles up in Canada or stuff that we actually use in Canada, we wouldn't buy it. They wouldn't make money. They wouldn't have an economy. Think about it.
Not charge them to bring things in, but they have charged us to bring things in. So as soon as President Trump put 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada and 10% on top of what's, I think it's 40% already in place with China, what ended up happening was Trudeau immediately said, well, we're going to put 25% on you for your orange juice. Well, that's great in shoes and things that we get, but that only hurts their people. And it means more supply here in the U.S. for regular goods. But if we're focusing on automotive, a lot of final production is made there. A lot of subcomponents are made there. So that would cause manufacturers to look elsewhere. That takes time, although they typically have more than one supplier. They don't just rely on one supplier, whether it be tires or seats or components. So also, you're going to see a lot of movement back to the U.S. You're also going to see smaller companies that make subcomponent parts getting quotes for more product here in the U.S. And maybe it costs a little bit more, but they don't want to pay the tariff because that's a lot more.
Shout out to ZF and Magna. ZF and Magna. They produce pretty much a lot of the components that go on BMWs.
So you're going to see that happening already. It's already been in place. We've already heard about it and seen it.
Yeah. So then how expensive are our cars going to get?
Some may not change at all. If they're made here in the U.S., like a Honda, a Toyota, or a Tesla.
But what about for the ones that aren't made here?
Well, that might go up. If they're talking about a
Someone wants
Porsche, sure.
Someone wants to get their F-150. It's made in Mexico.
It's made in Canada.
Made in Canada.
At the Oakville
So
plant.
maybe I was thinking Ram.
Yeah.
But they, they're brought in, and how much more expensive is their truck going to be? Are they going to eat the value because they want to keep their customer?
That's an interesting question. Because a perfect example is we did a reel on our Car Smarts channel, which does all the car reviews of the Bronco Raptor.
Yep.
I own a 22 Bronco Raptor.
It's a great car.
And they brought the 24 over. And we're looking at going, what's the difference?
There's no difference.
They painted the fender flares and they increased the price by $20,000 so they can absorb the tariff fee. As a matter of fact, they already put it in place. The reason that they put the higher prices in was to offset the losses they were taking on electric vehicles. So that's interesting. If they're smart, they'll absorb that little bit because it's not the overall price of the car. You're not looking at a $100,000 car and then add 25%. That's what the mainstream media is telling you. When the truth of it is the subcomponents. If the final assembly is a certain dollar value, that would be a certain price. The metal or the stampings could be done here, or we don't know every vehicle is completely different. Sometimes they can shift production to the U.S., which the Canadian Union won't like. And Mexico doesn't like. Now, Mexico hasn't given a retaliatory comment back. They claim we're going to our plan B. I don't know what that is. Maybe that means sitting down at the table and giving up, which they've done in the past.
True.
China will get mad.
Of course.
I know I have some subscribers that listen to me from Canada. I'm gonna say this about y'all previous Prime Minister Trudeau. Trudeau's weak. I'm sorry, he's way too weak. The way that he folded under pressure from Trump was pathetic. I know he's a feminist and all this bullshit, but excuse me, don't nobody respect him. Trudeau's a bitch. I'm sorry, he is, but I don't know. The way that this is going to affect the economy, I got a feeling it's going to be better for us because it's going to start keeping more money in the States. And the way that it's going, we need that. But anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe to the channel, support the podcast, spot.com. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.